Today on Selling Houses.
There is a technical term, which is trim your bush and polish your knockers. You have no knocker.
I haven't trimmed my bush.
And your bushes haven't been trimmed for yonks.
3 rival sellers snoop around each other's houses.
Strange colour. Probably wouldn't be my first choice. Or second. Probably not the third either.
I teach everyone a lesson or two.
Unless you're selling to a student, people don't want to see this in a master bedroom.
And I really mean business.
Paint this declutter into storage?
No, it's a massive job. Yeah, I'm not messing about.
They get £1,000 and 7 days to make changes.
I'm worried. Genuinely, I'm worried, yeah.
You've got it all over that dress, Lynn.
Oh, my goodness me!
I did tell you not to get too close to the table.
There's a step there.
It's a built-in naughty step for kids.
All competing to get an offer from my buyers.
This is stunning.
Do you like it?
I love
Beautiful,
this
yeah.
place.
Today I'm in Frome, a quaint market town with more listed buildings than any other in Somerset. This charm makes it a popular spot for house hunters, and prices here have risen 6% in the last year alone. Fantastic news for my 3 sellers looking to cash in and win an offer from my buyers, retired oceanographer Andy and massage therapist Mary, who fell in love 18 months ago and are now looking for that forever home.
So you're together and you're embarking on a search for your home together, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you have similar tastes?
Not really, no.
Excellent.
Well, just to illustrate that, I mean, Mary has a really pretty quarryman's cottage.
Yes.
I'm in modern, contemporary,
Okay.
third-storey sort of penthouse type dwelling with white walls and fluff,
Yeah,
lots
I
and
can
lots of
see it
light.
now.
Got a roof terrace and all the rest of it. So,
And the house itself, what rooms are important? Which will take precedent?
Well, we need a nice space for me to do my massage.
Yep.
And maybe a study space for you.
And bedrooms, how many do we need?
Probably 2 or 3, 2 minimum.
If you see something that might not necessarily be to your tastes aesthetically, but you think, well, actually, I could rip that out, or I could put that in, or I could change the colour of the walls, do you have the vision to do that?
We have mega vision. The only thing is we actually want to just virtually walk into somewhere that's really together.
So you want somewhere that grabs you as soon as you look at it, and somewhere ready to move into.
Perfect. Have you got somewhere like that?
I've got 3 just like that.
For that modern but characterful 3-bed, they've got a budget of 400 grand. I've got 3 great houses that could fit their bill, but each has areas that need attention before I can show them round. First up is solicitor Joe and neighbour Alison. Joe has spent 7 years lovingly renovating the house, combining period features with a modern finish. All 4 bedrooms are well presented, as are the kitchen diner and second lounge.
I've done all the interior decoration myself, so it's working with the beautiful features, but actually adding in a modern touch. And for me, the colour comes with flowers and the accessories. Classy.
Yeah. But things ran out of steam at the final hurdle. Maybe that's why, after 4 months on the market, Joe's had 0 offers.
One of the issues for a lot of people will be the fact that the front living room, the lounge area, has not been finished yet. There's a big contrast. When you walk in this house, you'll see all the beautifully finished rooms, and then the last room will be the lounge. It really is the Achilles heel.
And the outside of the property is letting things down too.
At the minute, no curb appeal. It really needs some TLC. It does look quite neglected. It has been 7 years, so I think we're looking forward to just the extra push to finish the house off.
I've been itching to get my hands on it, actually.
This unfinished Victorian is 90% there, but with its unappealing exterior and half-done lounge, key areas are letting it down. It does offer the period charm Mary likes, as well as the modern feel Andy is after. It's the most expensive of the 3, on the market at £400,000. Next up, it's asset manager Paul and girlfriend, legal case manager Christina. As Christina has her own place and spends most of her time in London, Paul lives alone in this modern 3-storey 4-bed townhouse, and it's crying out for a woman's touch.
It's almost a bachelor pad, really. I don't know if I've thought about style. Usually the ladies in my life have dictated that.
Paul's had no viewings in the 2 months the house has been on the market. Maybe his blokey styling is putting people off, especially in the dining room.
The dining room next to the kitchen here is... It's just got a dining room table with, 6 chairs. I couldn't even tell you what colour it is at the moment.
It's not the only room that's been overlooked. Upstairs, there's a forgotten master bedroom.
We sleep in the top floor. It's not the main ensuite double room of the house.
It looked confusing in the sense that it's an ensuite double bedroom, but there's no double bedroom there.
But there's no confusion about Christina's willingness to do DIY.
I have never had to paint anything before. I can't guarantee that I'll do a great job because I don't know what a thing means.
You don't have to be a Picasso or anything like that, so don't worry.
This manly townhouse with its plain downstairs and student digs vibe upstairs feels thrown together, but it does have the living space Andy and Mary crave. It's the cheapest of my 3 properties and is on at £365,000. Last up is business coaching team Peter and his wife Jo. They're selling this 18th century workman's cottage with 4 bedrooms, including the master on the top floor, 2 reception rooms and a kitchen diner overlooking the garden.
This has been a fantastic family home for us. We moved just before our eldest daughter's first birthday, and now it's time for us to move on to our next adventure.
After 6 months on the market with only 1 viewing, there's something about its higgledy-piggledy nature that's putting buyers off.
The kitchen's a homemade kitchen, not homemade by us.
It was painted a really dark blue, which we've touched up so it's white, but that's all peeling off now. But we've put 2 fridges in, which is maybe a little bit eccentric.
And the same could be said for the second reception room, which used to be an office.
The office was always, I think, used as an office. It had kind of built-in desks and so on when we moved in.
It's kind of an in-your-face yellow, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit like a slap in the face when you walk in there.
You could say that. At least it's clear who's in charge.
It's a very good relationship because I know my place, and therefore Jo tells me what to do and I get it done. Simple as that.
And it makes a happy house.
This higgledy-piggledy cottage has lots of character, but the office has become a dumping ground, and the kitchen diner is confused. The house is on the market for £395,000. So it's Joanna's unfinished Victorian terrace, Paul's blokey townhouse, and Peter and Jo's higgledy-piggledy cottage, all battling it out to win an offer from my buyers, Mary and Andy. But first, to help my 3 sellers realise they can all improve their properties, they get a chance to have a nosy around their rivals' houses. First under scrutiny is Joanna's 4-bed Victorian terrace, which has been renovated to a high standard. Well, most of it has.
This is a stunning home that Joanna has lovingly restored, but it's only 90% finished. Now, if you can get people through the front door, once they get into this living room and see that it's still a major building site, they're going to be running for the hills.
Christine and Paul are first to arrive.
Front door looks like it's come straight out of the scrapyard.
No, it needs a bit of painting.
Not a great first impression.
Lovely and bright, isn't it? Leads up the stairs, doesn't it?
Where's the door handles?
Off the hallway is that less than perfect lounge.
Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, right.
It does look dangerous when you walk in.
Not a very inviting place at all, is it? You know, I want to get out of here as quick as I can.
If you're a buyer, this would probably be one of the first rooms that you would come into, and it would really put you off really looking around the rest of the house.
But things improve for Peter and Jo in the kitchen.
Oh, wow. It's similar size to ours, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's similar size, but it's got the real wow factor that ours hasn't.
Upstairs, there are 4 good-sized bedrooms, and on the top floor is a rather impressive master suite, which puts Paul's to shame.
Oh, wow. This is nice. It seems brighter, doesn't it?
It is very bright.
It just appears a bit more spacious as well.
Maybe something we should consider doing to actually get rid of some of the furniture, desks and everything, and present that as the main bedroom.
Yeah.
I like your thinking. It's on at £400,000.
I would have said the price is fair if they have not left downstairs the way it is.
If this room was finished, I think it should be on the market for £425,000.
Yeah.
So all the rival sellers agree this house would be worth its price tag if all the rooms were done. But the Snoop has shown Peter and Jo the appeal of a modern kitchen, while Paul and Christina got a few tips on presentation. Next to go under scrutiny is Paul's blokey townhouse with a confused dining area and student master bedroom.
The outside of this modern property has been built to look like all of its period neighbours, but the inside is boxy and featureless, and I think that that's why they haven't had one single viewing in the 2 months it's been on the market.
First to Snoop are Peter and Jo.
It's quite new.
Quite a nice symmetrical house. I like.
It's
front looks really neat and
Yeah,
tidy, doesn't
no,
it?
it's got lots of curb appeal.
Unlike yours, eh, Joe? Off the entrance hall is what should be the dining room.
The designated dining room.
Well, but then there's a TV in here as well. Nice.
Yeah, that's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Why
it
is there a
is.
dining room and a television?
Strange colour.
Strange colour.
Probably wouldn't be my first choice, or second. Probably not the third either.
I'd say it's just a small box which is kind of attached to the hall.
In fact, it's almost confused in its pointlessness.
In the kitchen, Peter and Joe find out again where they've been going wrong.
It's modern, not cluttered. It works really well.
Exactly. Now, what will they make of that master bedroom?
What is it for, really?
Yeah. It doesn't feel very homely.
No.
It feels like it's functional.
I'd say it's definitely got a student digs feel.
If this is a master bedroom, it's the strangest master bedroom I've ever seen.
Gosh, it's on the market for £365,000.
I think it's pretty reasonable.
So do I.
I think it's probably a fair price, but actually, I wouldn't buy it.
No.
So my sellers agree the price is fair, and despite not being impressed by the interior, Joe did spot great curb appeal, something her house lacks. Last up, it's Peter and Joe's higgledy-piggledy cottage, the thrown-together kitchen diner and the abandoned office.
This is a charming period property which is full of character, but it feels very dark and dated, and every single room is full of clutter. There are 17 mugs up there. It needs a good clear out and it needs to be brightened up, and then hopefully they'll get some buyers through the door.
Paul and Christina are first to snoop.
It looks like an old pub or something.
It's pretty looking. It's a nice symmetrical house.
Yeah.
Good first impression. Inside to the lounge.
It's nice and warm and inviting.
That fireplace is lovely, isn't it?
But it's a finished room.
Yeah.
So it would just be your own personal touches rather than in mine. They've got to come in and start plastering.
Next, the old office.
Look at the paint on the wall.
Yeah.
It's a bit dark. It makes the room look a bit almost kind of claustrophobic.
OK, it's like a library, study, workroom. I don't like the colour walls, sorry.
Don't apologise. The office may not hit the spot, but what will they make of the kitchen diner?
For me, the way it is now, no offence, but it looks like some old person, a guy lives here. And it's also cluttered as well.
Too many white goods. I don't want to see those many fridges and things when I walk into a kitchen.
No, no one does. It's on the market for £395,000.
I think in terms of the size, it's fair, but it needs quite a lot of work doing to it in certain areas.
I think it's a little bit expensive for what it is now.
Yeah, and the work need doing to it too. I agree.
Yeah.
Plenty of criticism on this snoop, but some lessons learned too, particularly for Jo, who realised she must get her living room finished. Today, I'm in historic Frome in Somerset, helping 3 rival sellers give their houses a ready-to-market makeover in the hope they'll get an offer from buyers Mary and Andy, who are looking for their forever home together.
I like old, but I also like new. I'm not looking for one thing or the other.
Part of being together as a couple is all about compromise and all that good stuff.
After snooping around each other's houses, my 3 rival sellers have all picked up some tips to help them clinch a sale.
Look at maybe doing something with the kitchen and maybe losing some of our darker furniture.
Yeah.
You know, the lounge is not at all finished, so it highlights the importance, I think, of when you're trying to sell, to have a finished house.
Yeah.
We need to think about how we need to present all the room.
Yeah, but particularly the master bedroom.
Now it's time to give them some style advice, £1,000 and 7 days to turn their properties around. Starting at Joe's Victorian end of terrace, which is 90% renovated, apart from the lounge and the outside.
So tell me why you haven't attacked the outside of the house.
Well, we've been doing it 7 years, so I think it's a case of running out of energy and motivation, really.
Sure. People will look at this, and although I know what lies beneath, most people won't.
Yeah, I understand.
There is a technical term that I like to use quite frequently, which is trim your bush and polish your knockers. You have no knocker.
And I haven't trimmed my bush.
And your bushes haven't been trimmed for yonks. So we mow the lawn, we pull out the weeds, then we tackle this part.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful stained glass. The door, I would suggest one of those sort of deep burgundies would also tie in with the wonderful floor tiles that you've got.
Yeah. Just to get them through the door, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
So I've got some tiles here that I just happen to have on me.
I love that colour.
I love that one. That's
I love
gorgeous.
that
But you can use them both, ladies.
Yeah.
So you tile at the bottom in the burgundy and then metro tile just halfway up. What we need to do is get people through the door.
Yes,
Because
agreed.
once they're through the door, they will buy it because it's a stunning, stunning property.
Yeah.
Shall we get through the door
Yeah,
then?
that's lovely.
We'll leave those here. Over half of buyers looking at a house, so 54%, would be put off by unfinished rooms like this.
This is the hidden secret. I need to permanently keep that door closed, don't I, really? Yes, it's a shame.
But you can't be your hidden dirty secret anymore. You need to let it all out. For people that don't know how much it would cost to do something like this, it would make them run for the hills. So I think what we need to do is bring this back to a very smart, elegant Victorian sitting room.
Yes.
As opposed to a builder's yard.
Great. Yes.
So the first thing you've got to do is get a plasterer in here. Get all of it plastered, and then you paint.
Yes.
And you keep it simple, like a sort of very soft, pale grey.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we talk about the fireplace?
Yes.
The mantelpiece is perfect. Wouldn't touch that at all. The tiles are a wee bit dated, and this is an old gas fire, isn't it? Ripping out. You don't need it in there. You could fill it with logs.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. But let's talk about the tiles. Again, keeping the sort of soft... Look at your face. I haven't even got it out yet. Don't panic. It's like a sort of soft... There. And then pick out a colour, something like a nice deep teal.
Yeah, nice
Your
colour.
favourite colour?
Yeah, it's my favourite colour.
Look at that, you see? I'm psychic. You two are very creative. I can see that. So it's sort of having fun with it, I guess.
That's the plan always, isn't it?
Shut. This is such a frustrating house. It's so beautiful in so many ways, but the two key areas, the first things that any buyer will see literally look like a building site. I love the fact that the girls are so enthusiastic. They're going to need a lot of enthusiasm because this is an awful lot of work to do in 7 days, particularly because they've got such high standards.
I love the colour choice. It really works well with the existing stained glass. Because the house is so beautiful and it has got all the period features, it deserves to be finished to a certain standard.
So Joe and sidekick Alison waste no time prepping the living room for the plasterers.
It's going to be an elegant Victorian lounge.
And Joe is inspired.
Oh, Smart, this is demolition. We like it.
And stage one is to get the plasterers to fill in the holes and cover the bare brick. Next up, it's Paul's blokey townhouse with the student-like master bedroom and featureless dining room.
The other sellers, when they came in here, said that they felt it was unimaginative and a bit boring.
Yeah,
one of them didn't like the choice of colour. He said it wouldn't be my first choice or my second choice or my third choice. So I think we just need to bring a bit of richness
Can I have the
back
names of
into
these
it.
people?
Yeah, I'll tell you where they live later. What this room lacks is feature and character. One of the things that works really well is finding an old mantelpiece.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Lovely old rustic shabbied mantelpiece along here. You don't have to put anything in it. You could just dress it. It could just be an object. Which leads me on to the panelling. Have you ever used panelling before? Because it's quite
I like the colours.
Normally I do things like this and house owners look like they want to kill me.
This is for the floor, is it?
No, this is
for the
wall. Oh, right.
Oh, yes. You paint it a brighter, lighter colour.
Oh, I like that.
And you just make it a very lovely, grand heritage dining room. There's only one other room to do, and the other room isn't that horrific.
Yeah.
Well, it is at the moment, but it won't be when I finish with it.
With a plan for the grand dining room in place, it's upstairs to the master bedroom, which isn't just featureless, it looks like student digs.
So this is your what it should be is the master bedroom.
Yeah, sure.
Unless you're selling to a student, people don't want to see this in a master bedroom. Have you ever thought about decorating or designing or redoing this room?
No.
No.
Excellent.
Not at all.
We have never.
Let's clear the room. First of all, we get all of the furniture out
Yeah,
of
that
it.
can be done, yeah.
You can buy wall coverings now that give you a really interesting and quirky twist. You can get things that look like old metal tiles, you can get things that look like peeling paint, or even something like that across the wall.
Oh, I like that.
There you go. And then you paint the rest of the room a light off-white. You need to get a bed in here.
Yeah, I said that.
I say that, yeah. So I can't leave the futons.
You can't sandwich your futons together. Now, this house reminds me a lot of a chocolate in a selection box. It looks amazing from the outside and you're really excited about it. And then you bite into it and it leaves you a little bit disappointed.
It's got a lot going for it, but it just feels so uninspiring at the moment. I've given them lots of ideas on how to add some character. I just hope that they can do it and rise to the challenge.
I like the colours and the wall paneling that she actually showed us, which I think will make a lot of difference. It's some things we never really thought about before.
Paul and Christina start by clearing up. First, the dining room downstairs.
Oh, do you think I'm stronger than you are?
Well, your tongue is.
And then the master bedroom upstairs.
If you hold it that way.
They're actually quite heavy. Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the building.
With the clutter gone, the real work can begin. In the dining room, decorator Chris starts by gluing on the elegant panels.
Putting them together is easy, relatively. It's making sure the accuracy of any cuts that you have to make.
Last up, it's Peter and Joe's 18th century workman's cottage with an abandoned office and cobbled together kitchen.
It feels a little bit mismatched. Not thrown together.
It's a bit random, it's very lived in.
It works as a space.
It works as a space.
But it's not necessarily the prettiest.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So I think what we need to do is turn it from a slightly chaotic family space into a brighter, lighter, streamlined, modern family kitchen. Why do you have 2 fridges and freezers?
Beer and wine in one, food in the other.
Lose one of the fridges.
Okay.
And because everything is on top of everything, it looks like there isn't enough storage in here.
Okay.
So we need to have a bit of a sort out. It's all on different levels, your kitchen. As you go around, you've got your oven in that sort of quite high place. Take the oven down to where an oven normally is, which will free up more space to put a worktop on. This bit's quite interesting. I think what would work really well is if you moved your sink along one and took this out completely, which would then open up this space much, much more. Now let's talk colour. It does feel cosy, but it also feels quite dark and quite claustrophobic. So I think we just whitewash all of the walls. Lurking behind me are these wonderful Metro tiles in a sort of cream colour.
Okay.
Where would the tiles go?
I would go all the way around.
Go higher around the back of the hob, or...?
No, don't need to unless you feel like flinging your spag bowl up. Do you fling your spag bowl?
There's a lot of spag bowl flings.
And then you paint the units quite a dark plum. But if you put that against the white, it will really zing out.
Okay.
Joe, you look terrified.
I am terrified.
How glad are you that I've come into your house?
I'm going, paint this, declutter into storage?
No, it's a massive job. Yeah, I'm not messing about when I say it's a big job. It will look lovely, trust me.
Oops, I think I might have overwhelmed them. And there's more.
What is this?
It starts out as being our home office.
Mm-hmm.
And then it spent many years being a junk room.
Yep.
It's a no man's land room.
Yes, and that's exactly what it sort of feels like. Let's turn it into a kid's playroom and a space for them to do their homework.
Okay.
Talk to me about the paint colour on the walls.
Yeah, we inherited it.
We inherited
So
it.
when we were using it as an office, it was all covered in whiteboards and...
We covered it as much as possible.
So you've never liked it?
Rather than
no.
painting it.
Paint the whole place an off-white, which will lighten this room up immensely. I love the fireplace.
Yeah.
Again, if it's painted white, it will make it... You mean these sort of things? These are the sort of things that people walk into and think, oh, look at that lovely fireplace. The shelf around the top doesn't really work. But what you could look at is, again, just a lovely piece of rustic oak, and we just use lots of lovely bright primary colours in here as well with accessories. So things like you could get the kids to make little pom-poms that you could hang from the ceiling, lots of sort of crochet. Make it a really lovely, bright, colourful girls' den. Lovely.
Okay.
Joan fell in love with this house from the moment that she saw it, and I get the feeling that she's banking on somebody else doing the same. But the trouble is, the majority of buyers that walk into this cottage won't be able to see its true character because it's so full of clutter. She looked utterly terrified for most of that. But she's really got to knuckle down, get those boxes out, and just clear it out if she's got any chance of moving on.
I think with the £1,000 spend, I think the majority of it is going to be on the kitchen. The children's playroom really is just a lick of paint, rearranging, and turning it into a really fun space for them to be.
With so much work to do to bring the thrown-together kitchen up to scratch, work begins right away. One of the 2 fridges is removed, and they've decided to go with my idea of moving the sink to open up the space. But Builder Scott reveals there's a problem. The floor's not level.
There's a step there.
I think that's a great selling point to the kitchen. It's a built-in naughty step for kids.
Yeah, might be a tough sell, that. Scott calls in mate Andy and his concrete breaker to dispatch the naughty step.
Unless you look hard, you won't be able to see the difference.
I'm in Frome, Somerset, where my 3 sellers with their budget of £1,000 are doing up their homes, in the hope they'll land an offer from my buyers, Mary and Andy, who are looking for that forever home together.
The most important part of the house to me is the kitchen and whatever else we've got joined up to it, whether it's a lounge or a diner.
You need to have somewhere you feel kind of cosy and together.
Over at Joe's unfinished Victorian end of terrace, it's all about adding curb appeal and making the building site lounge as chic as the rest of the house. With the walls freshly plastered, it's time to remove the old gas fire.
I've hated that fireplace since the moment I saw it. Woo! That's good. It's a proper fireplace.
Outside, Joe is tackling the tatty front door, and she's picked what she thinks is burgundy red to match the tiles.
This looks more pink, but apparently it's going to dry more red.
Although it's not burgundy, is it?
My son will refuse to walk in here if it's pink. It's definitely going to dry red.
Looks pretty pink to me.
It's a really beautiful, strong colour. I love it. I love the colour.
Joe's dad, Stephen, adds further curb appeal by smartening up the front garden. And to create a feature and enhance the Victorian look, Tyler Matt is adding some grey Metro tiles to the porch. Over at Paul's blokey townhouse, things are about to be transformed in the student master bedroom, thanks to my choice of off-white.
Very excited. The painters actually have let me to do the first stroke on the wall.
A decision they may regret.
Oh, should I make sure it doesn't go on the skirting?
Maybe you should put that brush down. In the dining room, things are being left to the professionals. The panelling's complete, a picture rail's gone up, and the decorators are adding a coat of soft grey. Lovely. And Paul and Christina have decided to hit a local reclamation yard to find a feature piece to give the room a wow factor.
Yeah, we're here looking for mantelpieces.
Pieces?
White.
One
mantelpiece, yeah. That's true.
We're doing it my way, isn't it? If we like it, we're picking
I've got the money.
Oh, OK, fine. I really like this, and it's £5,000. Can we get it? You can't get a feature than that.
Can we move on?
Christina does spot a mantle with a slightly more realistic price tag.
That's $225. Can we buy it for two? 200, please.
Oh, yeah, I could do it for 200, that one.
Thank you.
I can have it now, thank you.
Over at Joe and Peter's cottage, it's all about streamlining the cluttered kitchen diner and turning the abandoned office into a playroom. Peter's dad, Julian, neutralises the mustard walls with a refreshing white, and Pete's sister, Claire, is adding a feature wall.
I've gone for something that's white, keeping the colouring, just put a little bit of silver in, because obviously it's going to be a fun children's playroom.
Next door, the kitchen has been cleared and builder Marcus has rearranged the appliances to make the most of the space and keep everything on one level.
Yes, well done, Marcus. That fits.
A new wood worktop is added and the cabinets are painted a smart plum, just as I suggested.
Do you know what? I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful.
At Joe's end of terrace, the curb appeal is improving. The lounge no longer resembles a building site as painter Phil brightens up the walls.
Marvellous! So different.
Don't touch my wall.
No, it's fine. They're all clean hands, and I'm definitely... I can't not touch the wall.
Base coat done, Joe adds some warmth with a nutmeg white.
I love this colour. It's a neutral colour, but it's not cold.
And Tyler Matt enhances the original fireplace with that modern teal colour scheme. Next door, Alison is upcycling an old wooden chair. She's painted the frame a light grey and, after applying a key, uses standard emulsion painting the leatherette to match.
Just going to give this a massage just to make sure it's really in the grain. I'm quite happy about it. I'm quite confident it'll work.
Meanwhile, Joe is working on the lounge window dressings.
To make the most of the bay, we're going to have full-length curtains. They're a lovely fabric, picking up the colours that Amanda suggested. So we've got sort of a greens and blues and a teal colour, neutral background, and gorgeous, big, oversized flowers.
Ooh, lovely. Upstairs in Paul and Christina's less studenty master bedroom, decorators Jack and Lee are hanging a feature wall to tie in with a characterful look throughout. Downstairs, the bland dining room is no more, with the fireplace being added as a focal point.
Oh, wow.
Gosh, it's certainly brighter than before, isn't it?
It is, definitely. This is what we were talking about, and making a statement.
That's a statement, all right. Even the plain modern dining table is getting an overhaul with a smart modern paint job. And it's not the only thing looking smart.
Does anybody ever dress up to paint?
Majority of the time, it feels like I'm overdressed for every occasion.
You've got it all over that dress, look.
Oh, my goodness me.
I did tell you not to get too close to the table.
I am going to send you my dry cleaning bill.
Send it to me?
Yeah, of course. Who am I doing this for?
At Joe and Peter's 18th century cottage, the kitchen has been streamlined, the cupboards have been painted, and the modern tiling is going up to enhance the sleek new look. They've even bought second-hand dining room furniture to paint up so it stands out in estate agents' photos.
That's
slightly brighter than
That's
expected.
quite bright, isn't it?
And Peter's not convinced either.
I think the best thing about these chairs is going to be that they're that much hidden by a table.
Meanwhile, Joe's making pom-poms, along with daughters Marianne and Abigail. There'll be a great splash of colour in the playroom.
Do you know, it's been years since I've made pom-poms. I used to make this with my mummy. Multicoloured pom-pom.
At Joe's Victorian end of terrace, the curb appeal is coming together. The front door is painted, the tiles are set, just leaving some finishing touches.
So yes, the front door was long overdue a makeover. I'm going to have the best knockers and the best bush in the street.
The lounge is now painted, a new carpet is going down, and bold painted logs are added to the fireplace to contrast with the smart teal tiles. And with that, Joe's house is finished.
I feel that the house is now, it's got to where it needs to be.
I think you've achieved what you wanted to achieve,
yes.
and that's it really, isn't it?
Outside lacked any curb appeal. By painting the front door with a bold statement colour, complemented by metro tiles and tidying up the garden, it now has a grand Victorian exterior to match the interior. Total cost £220.
Well, ladies, what an absolute triumph. It is so different. Bush is a thing of beauty now.
Yes, it is, thank you.
Knocker is incredible.
Well, I didn't have knockers before.
You had no knocker before, now you have a fantastic knocker. But it just creates such a wonderful first impression. You know, you drive down here now, or you walk down this row of houses, and this one really stands out.
Yeah.
For the right reasons now. Are you pleased with it?
I am very pleased.
Lovely. Really smart, really elegant.
Yes.
Love it. These tiles are gorgeous.
Inside, the living room let the whole house down. Not anymore. It's been transformed from building site to a smart Victorian lounge. Total cost £2,107.
Wow! Look at that fireplace, it's stunning.
I know. And the colour scheme you suggested just works wonderfully with the black, doesn't it?
It's beautiful. You've decorated it beautifully. It has worked so well. And this was the room that let the house down, wasn't it? Like I say, I remember it's the first room that anybody sees. Do you feel confident? Do you feel you're going to increase your chances of selling?
You walk in this room and you'll be excited about the rest of the house. So that's what we needed.
You've really, really pulled it out of the bag and in 7 short days performed a complete miracle.
At Paul's not-so-blokey townhouse, the student styling in the master bedroom has been replaced with warmth and character, and Christina is helping Paul build a bed, sort of.
No, don't do anything yet. Just step over the back of the bed.
What do you mean?
See the bed there, the side of the bed? Just step over that.
It's left out?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, OK.
You got it.
Downstairs, the not-so-featureless dining room is getting a feminine touch with some firm branch artwork that is framed and hung. And with that, the makeover is complete.
It's made you speechless.
Yeah.
And if it makes you speechless, that shows how good it is.
What was a deserted dining room that lacked character is now grand, opulent and inviting. Total cost £1,393.
Oh my goodness! It's so different. There's a real feminine touch in here now, whereas there wasn't. Obviously, because, you know, you're here on your own most of the time. It's given it an identity and a purpose and a style. You come in here now and look at this and think, gosh, is this still really my house?
You can't walk past the door without having a quick look inside.
Yeah,
you know, the same upstairs as well, because it's just transformed the place.
Can we go look at this master bedroom?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I think you've done a brilliant job.
Thank you.
It's really lovely. Really lovely.
Upstairs, the master bedroom has gone from student digs to sophisticated boudoir, with a bold but modern decor, vintage furniture, and most importantly, a classic sleigh bed has been instated. Total cost £1,331.
I'm gobsmacked.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
God.
Look at that wallpaper.
Nice. Love it. It has warmth and personality now.
Absolutely.
Both of the rooms really, really stand out. You've got to be chuffed to bits.
Oh, absolutely.
Very happy.
Although I'm, obviously gutted that the futons are gone.
Did you go over budget?
Well, we did go over budget, but I planned to put 1,000 towards it as well.
Fine, OK.
But I've gone about 500 over that.
Right, OK.
Because obviously I saw these things.
Yeah, but you've got all these wonderful pieces of furniture that will go on.
Absolutely, that's right. Absolutely.
Lovely. I think it's just striking.
At Peter and Jo's workman's cottage, Peter and Dad Julian add a rustic mantelpiece in the newly decorated playroom. Next door, the old pine table is refreshed with a bold blue to complete the look in the kitchen. And the finishing touches are placed in.
I'm really delighted with what we've done with the property. I think it looks amazing.
The kitchen was cluttered and dated, but clearing it out and redecorating in a bold, smart scheme, it's now a sleek kitchen diner. Total cost £1,689.
This is it. This is it, Amanda. This is
It's
it.
an enormous change. Do you like it? Does it feel so? It feels so much bigger. Well, it is so much bigger.
Loads of space.
Lots of space, lots of light. You've still retained that charming country kitchen feel. It feels to me a more usable space now. Do you like the colour?
I really like the colour. I did want to go for a green, but looking at it with the dark floor, it wouldn't have worked.
No.
So I think it works really, really well.
And are we coping with just one enormous fridge as opposed to two enormous fridges?
I've no idea how people survive with one fridge.
I think it's definitely more saleable now. I mean, look at it. It's just stunning. It's
lovely.
This disused office has been reinvented as a cosy playroom and snug that any family could enjoy, with fresh light decor and personality given through colourful homemade features and accessories. Total cost £180.
Oh my goodness!
Transformation.
Oh, isn't it pretty? This is a real asset, this room, isn't it? And you have that, I mean, the fireplace, all that yellow's gone.
Oh, yeah. Not sorry to see the back of the yellow.
No, I can imagine. It's lighter, it's brighter, it's just lovely. Are you pleased?
I'm just so delighted. I'm so pleased we did it. And we just hit it head on.
I assume you've blown the budget.
Oh, yeah.
By a lot or a little or?
£800.
Okay.
So not considering what we've
Considering
done.
what you've done, that's actually not bad at all. It just works so well.
In Frome, all three of my sellers have gone the extra mile to impress my buyers, Andy and Mary, who are looking for a home to enjoy their retirement in, with a healthy budget of £400,000. Paul's blokey townhouse has been transformed by reinstating key rooms and decorating with a classic but modern theme.
I think we've done it now.
More character, more personality.
We stand a great chance of winning this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jo's unfinished Victorian property now has an exterior and lounge with the same beautiful finish as the rest of the house.
Finally, the first impression is the right impression and it just reflects the rest of the house.
Jo and Peter's higgledy-piggledy workman's cottage now has a charming, practical family kitchen and a delightful new playroom.
We're definitely going to clinch a sale. It's a great property. It's looking really fantastic now.
With big changes all round, it's time to see which property will impress the most. Starting at Jo's now finished 4-bed Victorian terrace.
What are your initial impressions?
Quite like the fact it's all tidy and, cared about. Looks like it's up together, yeah.
Yeah, let's go and have a look.
All right, let's do it. Come on.
Outside's a hit. Now onto the finished lounge.
Sitting room.
Oh. Nice space, yeah. A lot of light coming in.
What about the decor? Whose style is this closest to? If indeed it is.
Definitely Mary's style, isn't it?
Well, yeah, closest, but not exactly my style either, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of not... I'm not feeling it.
Are you not?
No, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I'm so sorry to tell you that.
You don't. It's fine.
It's just not really getting me.
All right, my darlings. Well, let's have a look at the rest of the house.
Good job they didn't see the lounge a week ago, huh? Maybe they'll come round when they see the kitchen diner.
So I thought this might be a bit more up your street.
Well, that's brilliant. Isn't that brilliant?
It's more like it, yeah.
The dress is great, the little range is good. Let's just live here.
But you see 2 rooms away. You didn't want to live there.
I don't like them.
Isn't it funny?
I only like this bit.
Go on then, what do you think it's on the market for?
400k.
Well, I would guess it's nearer 325, something like that.
I know, you were spot on 400.
Yeah.
That says a lot, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Your valuation.
Yeah.
It says how you really feel deep down inside
Yeah,
about
probably,
it.
yeah.
Well, that's fine. It's a sort of good start. Let's go and look at something else.
Thank you.
Mixed thoughts here. On to Joe and Peter's now organised 18th century workman's cottage.
What are your first impressions?
I love it.
Do you?
Yes. I think it's an incredibly interesting place. It looks like it's got a lot of character
Yeah,
already
good.
before you
Yeah.
even go in there.
Yeah.
And one of the things we want is character.
Yeah. Should we get inside
Yeah,
before
that's
we freeze?
intriguing.
Yes. Let's go have a look.
Upstairs there are 4 bedrooms and downstairs there's a lounge straight off the entrance and that streamlined kitchen diner at the back.
Come in.
Oh, wow. This is enchanting,
It is,
isn't
yeah.
it?
It's a fabulous
My
space.
goodness.
Total opposite to the house that you're in at the moment, though, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Is this the sort of space and size you were looking for?
Well, it's very nicely done, isn't it? It's kind of just perfect. I find that wall a bit of an interruption.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's probably the outside wall,
Holding
which
the
is
wall,
like
yeah.
so
Yeah.
important to keep there, otherwise the
made
house
it disappear.
Yeah. Well, let me show you one of the other rooms as well.
Nice space, though.
It's
Yeah, I
lovely,
really like
isn't
it, yeah.
Well, the kitchen went down well. Next is the newly themed front reception room.
Currently being used as a kids' playroom.
Right.
What would you
my
use
goodness.
it for?
Massage room.
Yeah.
It's perfect for that.
Is it?
There's a very, very good energy here. Good, gentle and
Definitely
calm.
massage
Yeah.
room.
And what do you think this is on the market for?
I think it's 420.
Okay.
I've no idea, really. Say 405.
Okay. 395.
Oh, not bad then, yeah.
That's cool.
Getting better.
That's
yeah.
really
Yeah, you
cool.
are getting better. You're
Getting better,
closer.
yeah.
Two very different properties. Let me go and show you something completely different again.
Oh, right, okay.
Good energy, good space, good price. This house was a hit. Next up, it's Paul's now characterful townhouse.
So, you cannot get more central than this.
Fantastic location.
The house was built in 2004, so it's a modern house, but it's got character. See?
Stunning. Absolutely
Let's get inside.
stunning.
Really nice.
Come have a look.
Okay.
2 big boxes ticked outside. Beyond the front door is a large kitchen and living room at the back, and the reinvented dining room at the front.
This is stunning.
Do you like it?
I love
Beautiful,
this
yeah.
place. This is really something.
Decor and colour-wise, are these the sort of colours that you would have chosen, or are you more vibrant, or...?
I like the colour. I like cream. Not too strong about grey.
Okay.
Really fond of more neutral colours.
mellow colours.
Mellow colours. I really like the feeling
Yes.
in here.
Okay, let's continue the journey.
Great response there. Upstairs there are 4 bedrooms over 3 stories, including the reinstated master on the first floor.
I think that's really nice.
Yeah,
I
pretty relaxed
actually,
about it, yeah.
I actually like that zany wallpaper, which I would have thought I would never have said.
Yeah, I would not have had you down as that sort
Yeah.
of wallpaper girl, but I'm glad you like
so
it.
good. It's kind of, and the place is good. Do you like
Yeah,
it?
good
What do you
bedroom,
think?
yeah.
What do you think this is on the market for? This is going to be reflective as to how much you like it. Let's see whether you can get it.
430.
430. Okay.
435?
It's 365.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's absolutely
That's really weird, isn't
incredible.
it? Yeah.
Wow. That's a very
Tricky choice, that, isn't it?
Good. I like throwing spanners in works. Right, shall we retire? Shall we have a little think about everything?
I think we should.
Out we
Let's have
go.
a
Thank
look
you.
at the rooms as well, yeah.
Yeah, now we're looking at the rooms.
So the period character in this modern property went down very well. With Joe's Victorian cottage failing to set Andy and Mary alight, it's time to see which of the other 2 houses had the edge.
So it's been an interesting day, hasn't it?
It's been an amazing day.
Really enjoyed it, yeah.
Good.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Good. Lots and lots of different properties. We'll start with the cottage. There was lots of gasps coming from you when we were going around.
I like that energy and that whole history that was involved with it.
But practically,
In that building, you would have to be very careful, not just because it's listed, but to make sure you made sympathetic changes. And I think we would want to make changes to make it a little bit more contemporary.
so the modern townhouse in the centre of Frome, as soon as we stood outside, both of you became quite animated and quite excited about that. And the theme continued, didn't it, throughout the house?
Definitely, yeah.
What was it about it?
The first room on the left, which was really nicely decorated, and colours which, you know, we would probably keep, gave us a flavour, I think, of what the building could actually look like, what we could do with it.
So it's a strong contender then. What's the next step? going to go back? Are you thinking of offering? Where are your heads?
I think realistically, we need to get a second viewing of it.
Yep.
You know, once we become comfortable with some of the practical aspects of changing it, you know, and getting some sort of indication as to what things are going to cost.
Sure. I do feel that they will generate a lot of interest, and I don't think it will take long for that house to sell now. So if you are genuinely interested in it, get in there quick.
We will do.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
It's out there. The right
Thank you
house
for
is
helping
there.
us anyway, Amanda.
You are so welcome.
We've really enjoyed it.
So it seems there's good news for Paul and Christina.
Way! You're kidding.
You're joking.
You are kidding. Wow.
I knew it. It's vacation. Well done. Oh my God.
The rival sellers may have been pipped at the post, but they can rest easy knowing their transformations will go a long way to selling their properties.
Well, I don't think they could have looked around my house. I think it's a shame, but the house now, for me, is a winner.
I really thought they'd like ours the best.
I think without a doubt the property's more saleable now. We should have won.
We should have won.
Clearly they don't have good taste.
We should have won.
However, on reflection, Andy and Mary decided Paul's townhouse wasn't quite right, so their search continues.